Google I/O 2025 is just wrapped up, and in today's video I'm going to cover the 100 announcements that you should actually care about. So Google just released this blog post, 100 things we announced at I/O, which takes 13 minutes to read, but for the additional context you need, it takes more than 13 minutes to pull through this. But in today's video we're going to blitz it, and I'm going to tell you the ones that you should actually matter. So we're going to cover building with AI, then we're going to cover Jules, which is an asynchronous coding agent, AI mode, so AI in search, announcing Gemma 3N preview, so we'll briefly cover how this actually is working, fueling your creativity with video and image generation, which is pretty cool, and then flow, so this is more aimed at actual movie creation, which is crazy, and then we'll touch a little bit on XR, and then Google Beam, which is kind of similar-ish stuff, and then how much this all costs at the end, because the price tag is pretty hefty, but there's a reason. So, building with AI will start on, first things first is they have a new Gemini 2.5 flash preview update, i.e. they have a new version which is a little bit better. They also have Gemma 3N, which we'll get to more when we cover that one, but basically it allows you to run AI on mobile devices, tablets, etc., which is super cool. So, AI coming to an Android near you soon. They also have brought out Sign Gemma, so it translates sign language into words, which is cool. And then MedLM, which is enhanced for medical use cases. Now, tools they've released to make building with AI even easier is they have more agentic Collab. So soon be a new fully agentic experience. Simply tell Collab what you want to achieve and what to take action on your notebook. Fixing errors, transforming code, etc. Then Gemini Code Assistant as well, so the free AI Code Assistant, Gemma Code Assistant for individuals, and their code review one, Gemini Code Assistant for GitHub, are now generally available for all developers. And the cool thing is, 2 million token context window is coming to Code Assist Standard and Enterprise, which is incredible. So, double what normal Gemini 2.5 is. Firebase Studio as well, the new one is making it even easier for developers to turn their ideas, blah blah blah. Basically they're just talking about Firebase Studio, now has Figma designs connected into it as well. And then Jules has been released, so Google's answer to Codex. We'll cover that in a minute, but essentially it's like a software engineer, you just let it go and do the thing. And then Stitch introduced a new AI-powered tool to generate high-quality UI designs and corresponding front-end code, which is super cool. And then regarding the API, the stuff here that I thought was cool to talk about is computer use API. Very cool. And then also Google have green-lighted model context protocol, so they are going to use that, which is good because normally Google like to go away and make their own version of stuff. But MCP, they're going to be using it. Very nice. So on Jules, what is Jules? Build with Jules, your asynchronous coding agent. If you'd seen my video on Codex, it's kind of like that. So basically, it's an asynchronous agentic coding assistant that integrates directly with your existing repos. Clones your code base into a secure Google Cloud VM, which is cool, understands the context and performs tasks like writing tests, building new features, providing audio change logs, that's interesting, fixing bugs and bumping dependency versions. Basically, it's like a junior dev that runs on autopilot, which is pretty cool as you can see here. So that's kind of the TLDR of it. Cool thing about it, can work running parallel execution, so you could fix a bunch of bugs at the same time using different ones. And it works on real code bases, so it's not just sandbox. And it integrates directly with GitHub. And then the audio summaries is very cool as well because reading's a nightmare. You want to hear stuff, kind of like, if this was a junior developer, you'd want to join a little call, hear what he's got to say. So Jules definitely looks promising. So next let's have a quick look at AI in search. Basically they have now integrated AI into search so that instead of searching for things on like ChatGPT and then using that web browse, web search feature, instead you can just do it straight in Google and it brings it all back like a proper Google search, which is good, a Google search result, because that's what people are most familiar with. You use ChatGPT just because you can use natural language really. But AI previews have kind of helped with that. And then deep search as well is pretty cool. So basically now instead of doing like a deep research on ChatGPT or something, you can just do it directly inside AI mode by selecting deep research or deep search. And this is just in Google. right? Which is amazing. Live capabilities in search as well for real-time help. So here we have an example of a guy who's made something, a bridge or a table or something. And then he's like, how do I reinforce it? And then it gives it real-time analysis on how to do it, which is really cool. People are sleeping on Google's ability to leverage vision, because in AI Studio you can already share your screen and ask them what to do next, which is really cool. Agentic capabilities as well. So for example here, find 2 affordable tickets for this game, and it goes away and finds the 2 cheapest tickets. And this is because they've pulled in the capabilities of Project Mariner into this AI mode, so it can kind of currently do multiple tasks like that at the same time. And then there's a little bit of stuff about AI shopping and custom charts and graphs for visualizing data directly inside the AI mode, which is super cool. So think of AI mode kind of like your ChatGPT type thing, but layered into Google search. So, super cool stuff going on there. And then if we look at Gemma 3N a little bit deeper here, so we have Gemma 3, they've released that, they have Gemma 3N specifically. What I wanted to flag was that it's almost as good as 3.7 Sonnet, despite it being completely open-weighted model with only 4 billion parameters, which in the grand scale of things is pretty small. For example, here we can see this Phi 4, which is actually just behind my head. Phi 4 from Microsoft was a tiny little model, and that's 14 billion. So now look at here, like 4.1 nano, and then 4 billion for 3N. So, I mean, it's doing amazing. If we look at the key capabilities, it's optimized for on-device performance. So to work on your phone, privacy first and offline ready, which is really interesting, as well as having multilingual and multimodal capabilities for such a tiny model is absolutely crazy, man. So if you want more information, go and have a look. But basically it runs on one device, so it can run on like one Google VM, which is cool. So now if we look at the media side of things, they've released VO3 and Imagen 4. So VO3 is the new state-of-the-art video generation model, right? Which not only improves the quality, but now it can generate videos with audio, so you no longer have to match it. Because like before, you had to generate the video, then generate audio, and then match them together. Look at this, for example.
They left behind a ball today. It bounced higher than I can jump.
Oh, what manner of magic is that?
And that's pretty cool, but it's not as good as some of the other ones. Like
this ocean, it's a force, a wild, untamed might. And she commands your awe with every breaking.
Pretty cool, man. So just generating that from a single prompt is brilliant. So updates on the VO2. Additionally, they've brought out Flow, which we'll look at more in a second, but basically it's for Hollywood type of stuff. And then Imagen 4 as well, stunning quality and superior typography. Their image generation is just getting better and better. I mean, look at these here that it can create just from a prompt. It's fantastic. So, updates on that. And then if we go to Flow, we'll have a quick look at this here, but essentially AI-powered filmmaking.
And then something shifts, and I'm not trying anymore, I'm just doing.
It all feels pretty clear in my head. I see these like flashes of possibilities, almost like I'm traveling through dimensions.
All made by AI, which is crazy, man. You maybe have seen some of the stuff on like LinkedIn where it's like little videos of AI people being like, we were made by a prompt, the prompt master, I can't help it, the prompt man's making me do it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so it's going to transform essentially how stuff's made. But I wanted to flag it mainly because Google owns YouTube. YouTube, you upload your content to, you accept the terms of service. They will almost definitely be training all of their models on all of your data. And then they're going to be able to generate video, which will then kill your content creation business, possibly. Interesting stuff. And then final little piece to touch on is Android XR, and this kind of like XR, what's it called? Like VR, kind of virtual reality type of stuff. XR, what's the XR stand for again? That's it. Extended reality. So AI and extended reality are coming together, and so essentially they're trying to kind of compete against the Meta Ray-Ban glasses. If you've seen them, that's the reason you see Mark Zuckerberg in his glasses all the time is because he's wearing these Meta Ray-Ban stuff, you know. Let me see. Yeah, you can see him with these on. Very smart. But basically, extended reality, virtual reality, all that kind of good stuff is still moving ahead. You know, everything's gone pretty quiet since the big goggles from Apple. But as you can see, it's definitely coming soon. But I think it's going to take longer than people realize. Everyone's thinking we're going to get these little AI contact lenses, you know, but probably not for a while yet. Probably get AGI robots before we get the contacts or glasses that don't look ridiculous. But then another kind of extension of this is that we also have been given this new Google Beam, which is pretty daft, I thought. It's like a 3D video communication platform. So basically it's like Teams, but the person's in 3D. But the reason I wanted to flag it is because it kind of brings another layer to this whole like AI, XR, VR stuff. So they're still looking into it. It's just not really progressing at the same rate as all this other type of AI integration stuff. Because really what's happening here with this type of stuff is that they are finding better use cases for existing technology and they're enhancing that technology, and it's already moving at a rate that they're able to actually productize it properly. Whereas with this and this, they're kind of gimmicky still. They're still in that early development. So how much will all this stuff set you back? Google AI Pro or Google AI Ultra, that's the two different plans that they have. On the AI Pro, you get the app, so Gemini app. You get Flow as well, only in the US. Whisk, so image to video creation. Notebook LM stuff. Gemini in your Gmail docs and more. Gemini in Chrome as well, which is pretty interesting. And then 2 terabytes of storage, right? Which is cool. Pretty decent for like, you know, your £19 a month, and basically you get ChatGPT plus all of this other stuff, which is pretty brilliant. But the Google AI Ultra, so it's $120, right, for 3 months, but then it's $235 dollars. I'm saying dollars, pounds, £235 per month. 100. That's what, like $280 or something. So you get everything in Pro, but then you get the highest limits and access to Pro, DeepThink, and VO3, which is cool. You get access to Flow with higher limits, Whisk higher limits, Notebook LM higher limits, Gemini and all the stuff higher limits, Project Mariner, so streamline tasks with agentic research, YouTube Premium, and then 30 terabytes of total storage for all of your AI generated slop. So basically it's just this with higher limits. Seems a bit mental, but I suppose that's the thing, is if people are going to be, you know, kicking the backside out of a bunch of filmmaking AI stuff, they really do have to bring the price tag up. And if you know, I always say on the channel, you know, apples that fall off of trees could be free, sure, but you know, LLM inference, which runs on architecture and infrastructure, which is maintained by a team of people who get a wage. When you use it for free, how do you get it for free, mate? Because they give it away, because they want your data, and or because they want to win the AI battle, you know. As in, they're going to hike the price up in the future. Think of ChatGPT bringing out their $200 a month or whatever, £200 a month plan. And I think that's what Google's kind of doing here now, is they've bumped up to their $200 a month plan, plus some, mainly just because of how good it is. So anyway, that's the kind of main things to flag in this. If you want more information on them, the link for this blog post will be down below. And then if you want to get to any of these other pages, you just go down and like it will tell you, and there'll be little links like AI mode. If you click on that, then it takes you to the AI mode page, which is cool. So go through that. If you want deeper videos on Jules, for example, or any of the other releases, let me know and I'll have a look. And if you want to chat to me or learn any more about AI, talk to other people about AI, join the community. AI Automation Hub is our free AI community. So yeah, come along, join in the conversation. And I look forward to seeing you inside. Till next time, take care, and I'll see you later.